welcome back to the CNT podcast. I'm here with my good friend Tommy.
Hello.
And for this week, we have a special. I'm going to restart that because I didn't have my thing on me. Hey guys, it's me, Justin Mark here, back with another episode of CNT. This week I have my friend Tommy.
Hello.
And we're going to be doing a special episode. We're doing a debate on who is the better pitcher throughout their career, Clayton Kershaw and Max Scherzer. Tommy will be debating Max Scherzer. I will be debating Kershaw. Tommy, would you like to start?
No, you're the host. You go first.
Okay. My first, right off the bat, I don't want to argue about World Series. They both have one. It's even. They've gotten it in the last 2 years. Let's leave it out. Those equally each other out. My first argument, Kershaw has an MVP award. Max does not. Now, why this is important, it's only one MVP, but it is very hard for pitchers to win MVP because it's hard to compare them to position players. Yet, Kershaw was so dominant that he was able to get one.
Okay.
Which proves that he had a more valuable year. His best career year was more valuable than Max's most valuable career year.
Very, very valid point. Very, very valid points. Yes, and first off, I'm going to start with acknowledging that Clayton Kershaw and Max Scherzer are two of the best pitchers of our time currently. So let's look at Max Scherzer. The guy has been racking up strikeouts throughout his career. We know him as a strikeout machine. He'll give up runs every now and again, and he's not very good with his ERA. But it still is better than Kershaw's, or not better than Kershaw. Sorry, I mean we know Kershaw. We know Kershaw to just constantly be just keeping batters from getting anywhere close to home plate. So, over their careers, they have the exact same win-loss record averaged out per season at 13.5 wins, but Kershaw has lost less at five, almost 6 losses in his career per year, which is interesting because you could attend that to injury because Kershaw has gotten injured a lot in his career.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I mean, you brought up records. Let's look at their all-time records. Kershaw's 175 and 76. Well, Max is 175 and 93. He loses more games than Kershaw does. They do win the same amount. Both are generational pitchers, but Max loses more than Kershaw does.
Yeah, very, very valid point. There's something I want to look at, though, because I want to look at games started, because that's also something to focus on. So yes, I was right. So Scherzer has started 10 more games in his career, possibly allowing that 2-game loss difference between them.
Okay. Now let's assume Max lost all 10 of those more games. The all-time records, Max would be 175 and 83, assuming if we assume those 10 games were all losses, we took them away, he would still have lost more games than Kershaw. And on that point, let's look at their career wins above replacement. Kershaw, 69.6, while Max is a 62.3. Kershaw wins more games before he would be replaced than Max does.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. Something that I do want to point out is that their walks and hits per inning pitched are almost exactly the same. So I think we should discount the WHIP because Scherzer at 1.1 and Kershaw's at 1.033. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be effective to. I mean, at that point, it's listing one walk. I mean, granted, that could be a walk-off hit. That's entirely possible, but I think we should discount that.
Okay. I mean, let's look. Has Max Scherzer ever led his league, the NL, in the Triple Crown? Has he ever won a Triple Crown? No. Has Clayton Kershaw? Yes, he has. He has won one Triple Crown, while Max has not. Meaning, Max is a more dominant strikeout getter Yes, but Kershaw is a more dominant pitcher entirely, where he can get wins and the ERA and have high strikeouts. He is the real deal. He can do it all.
Yeah, that is very true. Something I do want to point out about their careers together is that they've both gotten 3 Cy Youngs, which together that's incredible to see. It's just interesting because throughout both of their careers, they've both been very they're both known as amazing pitchers, but there's a very large gap in strikeouts per year, which I think is interesting because you have to wonder, where is Kershaw getting his outs? Obviously fielding, but Max has shown a better ability to take hitters out at the plate without any worry, without any need for his fielders much more.
Okay. To rebut this, some of these are coming at Kershaw himself, being hit little grounders to him or lines to him. He's won a Gold Glove, meaning even yes, let's assume that those hits, at least about 5-10% are coming at him. Those 5-10%, he is getting them out almost every time, as he has won a Gold Glove, where Max has not.
Yeah, very, very true. I think that let's look. So he's played with 3 different teams, correct? Arizona, Detroit, and Washington. Sure, I'm talking about Scherzer here.
Yeah.
So he won, if I'm not mistaken, he won a Cy Young on the same team as Chris Sale. I just think that's incredible because that's another player that we have to consider in a best pitcher currently argument, right?
Yeah, he phenomenal pitcher.
So I think that's interesting that he's able to put up these stellar numbers while being the number 2 pitcher to Chris Sale back in Detroit.
Can I ask what year was this?
This would have been. Let me look. Oh wait, no, because never mind. But Sale was in Chicago. Never mind.
Yeah, so he was that number 1 pitcher there.
Yeah.
And
wait, no, he wouldn't have been. No, sorry, I missed it. I mixed it up. I'm talking about Justin Verlander here, back in Detroit. So Verlander.
What year was this again? Sorry.
Verlander was in Detroit from 2005 to 2016, right?
And then what year was it that Max Scherzer won that Cy Young?
He won Cy Young with Detroit in 2013.
2013. Can you please go look at Verlander's stats that year? Because I believe they weren't the best, and he had an off year, making Max that number 1 pitcher in 2013.
2013, 3.46 ERA over 34 games, led the league in starts. Did Verlander? Let's see. 84 earned runs, only 19 homers, which over his career is one of his highs. 217 strikeouts.
I was wrong. That was not the year he had an off year. I thought it was. Okay, so you're right. Scherzer won a Cy Young with another top 5 current pitcher on his team. You were right about that. I thought he had an off year around that year. I thought it was that year.
Yeah, correct.
I was wrong. Now, with that being said, Scherzer has yet to make as many All-Star games, yet being 4 years older than Kershaw is, meaning he's probably been in the league 3 or 4 more years than Kershaw has. He has made one less All-Star game. Kershaw has 8, while Max only has 7.
Yeah, it's a very, very good point. Scherzer has been in the league for 13 years, and Kershaw has been in the league also for 13 years, so that has no impact on it.
Okay, well, he was 4 years older, so I assume
they joined the league at different times in their careers. So he only has 1 more. So that still is very impressive because it stays in the same amount of time. So that is definitely very impressive.
But let's say you have a 13-year MLB career. Would you rather have made the All-Star game 7 times or 8 times?
Oh, definitely 8 times.
Kershaw did that.
Yeah.
Scherzer has yet to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, if we're talking about competition, what's the most competition that Kershaw has had amongst his pitching core?
I mean, like who he's had in his on his team as starting pitchers.
Yeah. I think,
Well,
were
let's see.
you?
Let's see. He's had Zach Greinke a few years back when he was a top 7 pitcher. Now he has Walker Buehler, who's arguably a top 10, easily top 15. He's top 15 right now. You can argue he's in the top 10. I don't think he is in the top 10. I think he's barely in the top 15, but he's there.
Yep.
And this year he had rookie Dustin May, who pitched solid in the beginning and can grow into becoming a huge star in this league.
I'm talking about top 5 talent, because
You can
Scherzer's had to
argue
deal
that
with that his
Greinke.
whole
You can
career.
argue that 2015 Greinke would be in that.
Yeah, you could argue that. So Scherzer's had 2. Kershaw's had 1.
Okay, I would say
Scherzer has had Verlander back in Detroit, and he has had Strasburg the rest of the time.
You could argue Strasburg is not a top 5 pitcher.
You can make that argument, yeah, definitely.
I honestly, I can name 5 pitchers I'd rather have over Strasburg right now. Kershaw, Scherzer. I'd rather have Chris Sale, like you said. I'd rather have Verlander. I'd rather have Garrett Cole.
You would pick Garrett Cole over Steven Strasburg?
Yeah, I would.
That's a debate for another time. But
me personally, I'd rather have Garrett Cole.
Yeah, I mean,
it's arguable. It's arguable. You could argue that he makes it in over Garrett. It's arguable. Yeah. That's all I'm.
Yeah,
it's
something that's up to debate.
That's all I'm saying is that is an arguable topic.
I think something that sets Kershaw apart from that sets the two apart is their wins. I mean, not. I mean, I'm talking. I know they're the same, but what I mean is that sorry. Let me explain this. Sorry, Kershaw has had more wins, and has had the same amount of wins in less starts. So that means that. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
I mean, I'm gonna help you a little. You just helped me. Is he's started less? He's won the same amount of games. But to help you a little, Max was on that Detroit team that was not very good. The offense wasn't producing as much as the Dodgers.
Yeah.
All right, let's be fair. I think
the Dodgers' offense has been better.
Max's team, I think that evens out.
Max's teams have not been as good as Kershaw's teams.
Yeah, but he's also started more, so I think those equaling each other out personally.
Yeah.
Just because of team goodness and less time, I feel like that kind of equals out. So I haven't really gone in depth in that. What I do want to go in depth in is Max Scherzer gives up more runs with a 3.2 career ERA, while Kershaw is under 2.5 at 2.3.
Yeah. Kershaw's sitting at a 2.43 career ERA. ERA.
Honestly, insane. And like on average, he has played over 200 games. Minimum. He's been in over 200 decided games alone. There could be even more. And all of that average, he averaged to not even allow more than 3 runs. That is an insane stat. And if we're rounding down, it rounds down to 2 because it's not at that 2.5 yet.
Yeah.
So it's honestly insane.
Going off of careers or off of season stats, Kershaw, when he won his last Cy Young and when he won MVP back in 2014, he threw a 1.77 ERA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's amazing. Scherzer never had the ERA titles that Kershaw did.
No, but he did have the strikeout totals.
Yeah, he has the strikeout.
He has over 200 more strikeouts than Kershaw does.
Yeah. Neither of them, I don't believe, have had a perfect game.
No, but Max has that. I'm pretty sure Max has had more no hitters though.
Yeah, Max has had. I'm looking at shutouts just now. Max has had 5 shutouts in his career, and Kershaw.
That kind of shocks me.
Kershaw has had 3, 5, 7, 10, 13 in his career. Or 5, yeah.
I'm not
15.
surprised. Kershaw's very good. He's like
Yeah.
the Mike Trout of pitchers. Like he's a generational player, going to be a top 5 probably. And you might think from this I'm a big Kershaw fan. I hate him. He goes up against the Cubs a lot.
Yeah.
I do not like him at all. I just think that he's better than Max Scherzer.
I do have one other point that I want to make about Max Scherzer over Clayton Kershaw.
Okay.
Up until this season, I mean, this season he did turn it around in the playoffs, but up until this season, his historical pitching is not very good.
No, he's one of the worst playoff pitchers. You're totally right.
Scherzer, the Nationals have been able to count on. They haven't been able to count on their hitting most years, but Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg have been accountable all throughout their careers.
I mean, Kershaw's been accountable in this World Series. I mean,
this year, yeah,
he hasn't disappointed in the World Series. No, I'll say this. Let's look at it this way. The World Series, that's like the final test. And then the postseason, the series leading up to that is like quizzes. Let's look at it this way. He's failed some quizzes, yes, but he has never failed in the World Series. Yes, he has lost, but he pitched good in those series.
Yeah.
He has sold his team on quizzes on those series before the World Series. But when he gets to the World Series, he doesn't disappoint.
Yeah, only one problem for your analogy there. If you don't win the quizzes, you're not even making it to the final.
I mean, yes, you could argue that, but
I think Kershaw is. Well, I mean, Kershaw we've seen good in the World Series through 4 to 5 innings, and then we've seen him at the end in back. I mean, like at the 9th inning, like he did in Game 6, a couple days last week. So I mean, Kershaw will be good for a certain amount of time, and yes, I mean, he hasn't failed one of those finals. And that's something you do have to commend him for, that making up for those previous mistakes.
There's 2 things I think Max Scherzer is better at than Kershaw, which is playoff pitching and getting strikeouts. That is it. I think Kershaw is better at everything else and is the better player in general.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to agree to disagree, my guy.
Yeah, I guess so. Thank you for everyone watching. It means a lot to me. Thank you for Tommy for coming on.
Yeah, you bet.
I think we argued pretty well. I think they're both generational players and will both easily make Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely first ballot Hall of Fame.
I'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye.